Okay, that was a big hippo smile right there.
The big hippo smile. Hopefully your smile just about as big on this first Monday of 2022. So glad you're with us. Glad to be back. I'm Eric Connard.
Then I'm not at you, Rampur. Yeah, if you don't have a heater, you're probably not smiling very much right
true,
now.
right.
Let's check in with Evan. What's going on out there?
The weighted blanket has been my best friend the last several nights, just pulling it all the way up close. It is cold overnight. If you were heading out the door right now, keep in mind, we're looking at mainly 30s and in some cases 20-degree overnight lows. 27 right now in Ramona, 36 in El Cajon. We've got a frost advisory right now that we'll talk about in detail just a few minutes out. Want to take a look at what's going on traffic-wise. Only thing to mention right now is the left-hand shoulder blocked at Poinsettia Lane. This is on the 5 southbound lanes. Right now, volume is still very light on the 5, so we're not seeing any significant backups around this area, but we do anticipate if that left-hand shoulder stays blocked that we could start to see some slower speeds. Only thing besides that is slow going across the Coronado Bridge. Back to you.
Evan, thank you so much. And new this morning, an investigation underway into a series of car fires in Mira Mesa. Police trying to figure out if these are connected. The first one happened just before 2 a.m. on Black Mountain Road. That's near Gold Coast Drive. Officers got a call of another fire about an hour later on Maya Lindo Road. The fires damaged at least 5 cars. Imagine waking up to that. Thankfully, though, nobody was hurt.
Well, today a number of local districts are heading back to school after winter break, and it comes with a number of concerns as kids return to class.
News 8's Chris Groh joining us live outside the County Office of Education with a closer look at how this return to school will be like. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning. A lot of students, again, waking up, going to go back to school for that winter start here, and a lot of them having already done so, taking some COVID-19 tests to make sure that they weren't positive before returning to in-person learning. However, Poway Unified, a little bit of confusion here. They were supposed to receive free at-home testing from the state, but they sent out this email to parents saying, "Dear Poway families, unfortunately, the free COVID test kits that were promised from the state have not arrived. Earlier this week, we were told that the state would ship rapid at-home tests for every student returning from winter break for distribution this weekend. Today, we and other school districts were informed that the shipment did not arrive, and the San Diego County Office of Education does not know when we can expect to receive them. We will follow up with an update." Now, they did tweet out that they are going to resume in-person classes today. They are also going to resume school athletics and tournaments and also going to continue. So they want the families to kind of keep in check there with their emails in case any new details come up. But they're going to be going through their school day as normal. Now, San Diego Unified School District, they were able to distribute those test kits to students before winter break, and they said that those first tests should have been taken on New Year's Eve, and then they asked those parents to upload those results to the website so that they know, again, who is positive with COVID-19 and who's not, who is safe. Now, of course, a lot of the CDC quarantine guidelines are going to be in place, and a lot of the masking guidelines are still going to be in place for many of the school districts. But again, a little bit of confusion waking up this morning because some school districts were able to test, the parents were able to test their kids prior to them returning, and then you have Poway where they were not able to. Now, of course, to keep up to date with what each school district is doing, go to our website, cbs8.com, and click on that story link. Eric and Netta.
Chris Groh, thank you for that update. The FDA could authorize COVID booster shots for kids 12 to 15 years old as early as today. According to the New York Times, the agency will allow this age group to get an extra shot of Pfizer's vaccine 5 months after the second dose instead of waiting 6 months. Right now, teens over 16, they can get a booster.
And here are the 3 things coronavirus is impacting right now. The San Diego Fire Rescue Department issuing an emergency brownout plan today because of a staffing shortage due to COVID. The order puts 5 engines, Squad 55, and the bomb team out of service. We're told there are 113 firefighters, 15 lifeguards, and 6 civilian employees in isolation right now. Now, this move is temporary, but there is no end date set yet. Grossmont College temporarily going virtual because of an increase in COVID cases. The community college was supposed to begin classes tomorrow, but they will be remote until at least January 17th. The school has emailed students with further instruction. And UC San Diego is starting classes remote this morning. The university moved the start of its winter quarter online, bracing for a rise in COVID cases over the holidays. Remote classes will last at least through January 17th. On-campus housing is still open. All students and faculty will be required to complete a COVID test on the day that they return to campus.
Well, today marks 1 week since a small plane crashed near El Cajon. And you see this right here. Family and friends gathering last night to remember the 4 people who died in that crash. A candlelight vigil was held near the crash site right on Pepper Drive. Many people, of course, still mourning the loss of their loved ones.
He loved his children. He loved his wife. He loved his family.
It still doesn't seem real. It just seems like I'm just going to see her next week for lunch. So it just hasn't really hit yet.
Right, such a tough loss. An investigation into that crash is still going on, and officials say it could be months before a final report is released.
Today, thousands of service members are getting ready for deployments. Yes, the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group is going to be leaving. News 8's Dana Marie McNichol has more on what we can expect.
Well, I know service members are getting ready, as you said, to deploy to the USS Abraham Lincoln. But one thing that's different this morning is that their families are not able to join them and wish them a farewell here on base due to COVID concerns. Now, with that being said, this deployment is a very special one because it's making history. Now, for the first major deployment of 2022, it's under the first woman to lead a nuclear carrier in the U.S. Navy history. So this is led under Captain Amy Bauernschmidt. Now, a little bit of background on her. After graduating from the U.S. Naval Academy in 1994, she became a helicopter pilot and was assigned to Helicopter Anti-Submarine Squadron Light 45. That's the Wolfpack here in San Diego. Now, since then, she has held multiple leadership positions, leading her to this one, commanding the USS Abraham Lincoln. Now, some background on the ship. It's the 5th Nimitz-class nuclear-powered aircraft carrier, and it's named in honor of our 16th President of the United States. The Lincoln left Norfolk Naval Base in Virginia. It had a previous home port in April of 2019, and after its deployment was extended twice, it arrived here in Coronado in January of 2020. So the Navy announced in December of 2020 that Bauernschmidt had been tapped to command the Lincoln. So this morning, service members are getting ready. We will be getting a closer look at that ship going inside the naval base here in Coronado, bringing you a closer look at what they can expect as they do deploy. But their families today will not be able to join them. That normal farewell that most do expect as they head off to this deployment will not happen this morning, but I'm sure those hugs and kisses and warm wishes are happening right now as we speak. In Coronado, Dana Marie McNichol.
City of San Diego threatening to take action against trash collection company Republic Services as garbage is just piling up across the county.
It is getting really bad. This call comes as sanitation workers, they're still on strike. What is it now? Entering week 3. The city says the company must respond today with a written plan on how they will fix the trash pileup. In a letter sent to the company last week, the city says Republic Services failing to uphold their contract agreements, and there could be fines if the contract is not met. Residents in Chula Vista, they were told to leave their trash bins out, anticipating services to resume this week. Let's hope that happens. Ooh, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Man, it's got to be stinky, and imagine the rats.
Yeah, and especially with all the wet weather from last week and the week before. I mean, yeah, that definitely can start smelling a bit. Good news on hand is that we don't have much wet weather in the forecast for this week. Looks like we have a weak ridge of high pressure that's going to keep us clear and calm for a good portion of it. Here's the view outside right now. Starting to look really beautiful. We're letting a little bit of the light in, although that sunrise still pretty far out. Got about 40 minutes or so. Looking at what we have as far as those overnight lows go, 30s for the most part. Areas are touching the upper 20s like Ramona. You can see what is starting off the morning. Beach hazard statement, first thing on there. That is along your greater coastline because of those king tides. We also have a frost advisory that will expire at 8 a.m. Thanks to those cold overnight lows in your inland valleys. Across your deserts, we're looking at a freeze warning that will also expire just around 8 a.m. The big thing to keep in mind with all of this across the board, watches, warnings, and advisories. Number 1, king tides, so we're seeing the possibility of that water heading farther inland, and then we're also seeing, of course, those very cold overnight lows. So mostly 30s as we start off the morning, 39 right now in San Diego, but you see those areas that are closer to 20. Ramona, 27 degrees right now. Escondido is at 31 degrees. Poway at 35 and El Cajon at 36. Even Borrego Springs has dropped now sub-freezing at 31 degrees. Now looking outside right now, we're letting a little bit of the light through. No fog fog right now, but tomorrow morning that could be an issue. Only frost really is on our radar to start off this Monday. Cold overnight temperatures, frost and fog possible, especially going into tomorrow morning. Weak ridge means plenty of sunshine by the afternoon hours, so we're going to at least have a very pleasant day on hand with temperatures largely in the 60s, and then those king tides, 7-foot tides possible. Let's switch gears, talk about what's going on traffic-wise. One thing that I want to mention was taking place up along the 5. Looks like they've cleared that now, but this previously had the left-hand shoulder blocked at that Poinsettia lane exit. Also want to take you down to the Coronado Bridge area. Looks like we have some slower speeds around there, 11-mile-per-hour speeds across the bridge getting into Coronado. We also did earlier see some slower speeds heading out toward the Imperial Beach area. But so far, the volume is still pretty light on the roads this morning, and you should be able to head out at your normal speeds.